Hi, my name is Richie Etwaru, and I'm the host of today's show. Today's show is sponsored by Nirvana Music here in Orlando, Florida. I have the privilege today of asking a few questions to Shri Anup Jalota ji. These questions are going to be very informal, and they're going to help us understand him a little bit more from a fan perspective and a little bit about his history. Before we get started, I wanted to take a moment to introduce him. For those who don't necessarily know of his magnitude, I'm going to use mathematics to try to help to set the context. Michael Jackson has performed 82 concerts in 52 countries. Impressive, right? Anup ji has performed in over 5,000 concerts in over 400 cities. Now that's what I think is impressive. Still presented with humility, and just for context, he's sung over 1,500 bhajans, ghazals or songs, and these culminate into about 200 albums. And the last thing, which I think is most impressive, is he can sing in more than 8 languages. And I don't know whether my math is correct or not. We'll
You're
get that
right,
from him
you're right.
eventually. So now that we've introduced you, we're thrilled to have you here in Florida on behalf of Nirvana Music School and the students and the people of Greater Orlando. And we're particularly grateful for you to do this interview with us. Let's start with something that usually strikes people with a lot of surprise. How many languages exactly can you sing in?
More than 8 Indian regional languages. I sing in Bengali, Gujarati, Marathi, Sindhi, Odia, Punjabi, the many regional languages we have in India. And I do albums in various languages. And all those albums are sold in those parts where people speak those languages. I have also sung a lot of songs in Bihari, Bhojpuri.
Yep.
And I have produced Bhojpuri films. I make Bhojpuri films. So because of that, I have sung in so many languages. I enjoy singing in different languages.
So that's interesting. I don't even know someone who speaks 8 languages, much less can sing in one that well. Now, how does that happen? Is it because you wanted to expand your audience base, or is it because you had fans in so many parts of the world?
No, actually, because my listeners are everywhere in any language they speak, but Hindi definitely they like. Hindi is our national language. So the artist who is known in singing Hindi language becomes known all over India, in every community. So they feel very happy if we are singing their language. So that's why we produce albums in their languages. And they really feel very pleased and surprised and happy that the singer who is not actually from their community is singing their language.
It's almost an issue of pride, right?
Yeah, so they like it.
Anup, when one reaches your level of accomplishment, regardless of the art, usually there's a collection of people that have influenced or helped them along the way. Which one individual would you say is in your top 5 of folks that have either influenced you and helped you, and how exactly have they done that?
See, there are people who inspire, who become our teacher, like my father. He is the first guru. Whatever I have learned, I learned from him. And after that, there were many singers like Pandit Jasraj and Pandit Bhimsen Joshi, Mehdi Hasan Saab, Ghulam Ali, Begum Akhtar and Mohammad Rafi, Kishore Kumar. They all singers because we hear so much their singing. So we get inspired, we learn so much from their style of singing. So they all become our teacher. And if you ask me to give 5 names, then first is my father's name, second is Pandit Bhimsen Joshi, third is Pandit Jasraj, then Mehdi Hasan Saab, Ghulam Ali, Begum Akhtar. 5, I think.
Yeah.
But I can give you 50 names
right,
actually because they all
and I'm sure
inspired me.
if we were to ask them the question, you would be in the top 5 for many of those names as well. Thanks for sharing that with us. Having spent some of my early years in Mandirs, I can attest to the impact of bhajans and what it can do to someone's life. Your musical contribution to the world has brought an unquantifiable amount of solitude. When you just think about the amount of songs you've sung and the places that you've performed, etc., to individuals, homes, families, and Mandirs all over the world. how does it make you feel to know that millions of people can find important things like peace of mind, solace, and humility when they listen to your music?
I feel very satisfied because my purpose of my singing, purpose of my life is being fulfilled. When I hear that millions of houses, they play my songs in the morning, they open their day with my music, so it's very satisfying feeling. And sometimes in my concerts I see that 3 generations, they come and listen to my program. The grandfather is also there, the father is there, this child is there, and they all listen to my music. It's, I think God has done some special favor to me and given me so much pleasure and so much happiness in life.
Humble, talented, and renowned, ladies and gentlemen. We're in the middle of an interview with Anup Jalota. We've got 2 more questions before we wrap it up. It's funny that you brought up the generational impact. The little girl who was sitting in the middle when you first walked in and you said hello, we had to calm her down before the curtain was pulled.
They were very.
She couldn't breathe.
I know. Actually, I just came and met them, and they were so excited. They became so nervous. They didn't know that I will just walk towards them and meet them.
Yeah.
So
we had to calm them
I
down.
could see that. So I think I did a mistake, coming in front of them.
So knowing your lineage and your musical academic resume, and recognizing how important schools like Nirvana Music is to students in the community, but given the internet, rich social media, social networking, all the communication and everything that we have today, do you feel like schools like Nirvana Music are less important, equally important, or even now more important than your time because there's so much more distractions? What are your thoughts on it, and how does it really serve in the community?
I think it's more difficult now to teach these kids this kind of music because they are so much exposed to television and all sort of music is coming there, all sort of song video are coming there. So they are very distracted. And in this situation, in this atmosphere, you are teaching them Sanskrit shloka, you are teaching them Bhagavad Gita, teaching them my bhajans. I think it's a very big thing your organization is doing, and this will help this world to keep our tradition, our culture alive. Because you don't have to just keep music alive, you have to keep our culture alive. And by teaching them the right kind of work, right kind of music, right kind of lyrics, right kind of songs, you will keep the culture alive through them.
I'm glad to hear you say that. I feel the same way. I'll tell you, my mom feels the same way.
It's true, it's true, universal fact.
And Dharmendra ji, who runs the music school, certainly tries to play on some of the new technologies and the new influences and try to create that blend or that bridge, so to speak, so that you can bridge the past and the future. Speaking of Dharmendra ji and the students that you heard perform today, what advice would you give to them to further their musical skills?
They were very good, and of course they are young, so they will do more practice and perform better in life. Little bit of correctness of words, like singing some shloka of Sanskrit. So it should be very, very perfect, very, very correct. Then only it will have effect on you. So if you want the right vibration and right effect of the lyrics of the shlokas, then you have to sing correctly. So 1 or 2 places I could find some accent problem.
The pronunciation.
Pronunciation, yeah. So this can be rectified. Once or twice you sit with them, and they are very intelligent children. Once you tell them, they will definitely correct it.
Yeah, I tell you, having to learn the second language is tough. I only know one language myself, being English. But these kids are very lucky. I mean, they have so many tablas and instruments. When I
Yeah,
grew
I
up,
know.
there was only one tabla in the village, right? And it was in the temple. And
Yes,
there's
good.
only one way to find it, right? I'm going to ask you one last question. And thanks for sharing everything that you've shared with us thus far. Assuming that you've had some time to think about this in your busy schedule, I know that you're flying all the time. What would you want your legacy to be, above and beyond what people say about you, which is the world's most renowned bhajan singer? What would the one thing that you would want to be remembered for?
See, I have always walked on the footsteps of my father. My father taught me, and I have tried to popularize his music, his style of singing, which is semi-classical music. When I perform any bhajan, it's based on classical because I sing a lot of sargam and taan and alap in between. So it becomes semi-classical. Now my wish is that some more singers must come forward in bhajans and sing in this style, which I have maintained. Because this is the correct style of singing bhajans, because bhajan have been always the part of classical singing. Every classical singer, even today, they will sing first khayal, then they will sing a bhajan. At the last in their performance, they will sing a bhajan. It means bhajan is part of classical rendition. I'm also teaching some good singers. Tomorrow I'm going to Trinidad and I'm teaching 3 students. I have selected 3 students there and I'm teaching them. So this way I will prepare, I will groom some singers in various countries. So they also do well and my kind of style they adopt. So this will go on and people will continue enjoying my music today through me, tomorrow through my students.
That's fantastic. Anupji, on behalf of Dharmendra Ramjihalji and the Nirvana School of Music and all of the people of Orlando that came out to see you today, we'd like to thank you for your time. It was a pleasure hearing your thoughts and we certainly appreciate it.
Thanks very much. I also enjoyed being with you and of course performing here.
Absolutely. I'm Richie Etwaru. This concludes our interview with Sri Anup Jalota. And as always, thank you and good night.
Before we get started with the music, the students of the music school would like to make a small presentation to Anupji, Tonyji, and Bashirji. Nirvana music, where are you? Come on, please. Please put your hands together for Ariel. Come on. Avina, Ashley, Rudy Ramjas, Michael Chamit, Raj Malparan, Nicholas Chamit, Kishan Durjan, Dylan Ramjas back there. Where is Alexis? Uh-oh. And before we commence, like I said earlier, it's a dream come true, and it's a blessing indeed to be given an opportunity to present someone who has made such an impact in my life musically, particularly the religious music. Myself and family, we came here in 1981 and lay roots just like most of us who probably come from a foreign land into this country. And we're very fortunate, thanks to our parents, they gave us music as one of those things in the home. And 4 sons, and we're all musicians, professional musicians. We have had quite a little career ourselves. I'm going to ask Surendra to leave the mixer and come on up here with me for a moment. Oh, he's right here. Please join us. So, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, when your name becomes a household name, in a positive way, you have made an impact. And tonight, on behalf of all of the students, my family, my mom, my dad, my lovely wife, I think she's still in the ticket booth, no, she's there. And all of you wonderful people of Central Florida, I wish there were more people here. We would like to present a small token. I know Anupji probably has a home full of many of these. But it says from Nirvana Music, Lifetime Achievement Award, presented to Sri Anup Jalota for his indelible musical contribution towards the global development of Hinduism. Ladies and gentlemen, when I thought about what I wanted to say, I think that's the most compact statement I can make that says it all. The word indelible means unremovable, unforgettable. He has made a permanent place in our lives, and he, like he was saying in the interview back here a few minutes ago, he feels that his purpose in this earth is complete when people can wake up in the morning to his bhajans, and they can use that music to look forward to the new dawn of a day. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in presenting this Lifetime Achievement Award to Sri Anup Jalota. Please, can everyone kindly stand and let's give him a standing ovation. Anupji, please accept this humble offering on behalf of all of us. Thank you.